Right. Well, this hasn't been going very well for continuing to actually stream. I could continue to do voice and such, but I have been working on Portal, on actually Godot, and I've been quite busy. So I've got an idea here. I'd like to make a bunch of 1v1 maps. So I split Cairo up into 3 areas. Each gets its own 1v1 map. I will go into a couple of these here in a moment, but it takes so long to get into these Portal experiences that nobody wants to sit here for all of that. Now, I've got this 1v1 Empire State Port of Authority. Now, if y'all end up telling me to, I can make it to where you can walk over the top of the map. It's really weird. If I put a helicopter in there and you crash it into a specific building, well, I don't know if really it's a specific building, but it has only been the same building each time. You can't get back down, but you can walk all over the map, like 80 feet above it, and you can still shoot down, but it's just weird. So this ground attack practice, that's a complete work in progress. But I was making a bunch of mistakes that I wasn't aware that I was making, that I think that it should be a little bit harder to make the mistakes. But it isn't how it is, and I do really hope that my voice is going right now, and I'm actually going to check to see. Yes, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Awesome. So I've got my 1v1s, and then I went and did Mirak Valley Village. So this is all 4 of these are the same, almost the same map. Some are expanded a little bit more than others. Um, but I've got regular 1v1. I've got 1v1 with gun emplacements. Interestingly enough, I accidentally made it to where some of the gun emplacements aren't in the map. They're just slightly outside of the map. But that does kind of add a little bit of game space. You know, I mean, your enemy might be out and using that one. He just might be. So yeah, I'm gonna Bob Ross that shit. I've got 1v1, but with tanks. That's cool. And there's 2 tanks spawning because I ended up using the same map that I did tank squad versus tank squad. So whereas most of these are 1v1s, a couple of these are not. This one is 4v4, and it has 2 tanks. They'll spawn right after they die, so there's no worry about that. Um, and get good. Get good with using tanks and being a squad about it. This will let 8 people sit there and practice it. And then I've also got my 1v4. So it uses the same map as my Empire State Port of Authority, the one that I can get you above the map. Uh, but the idea here is that to get really good at this game, you've got to get into a lot of gunfights. A lot of your against the odds gunfights until you figure out and muscle memory that shit on what to do. So it's something like a 1v4. If you got a few friends that you guys all want to take turns being that one, it's really good practice for 4 people working together hunting someone, and also one person disengaging and engaging, re-engaging, and being able to disseminate a squad. Because if I end up with a squad of people who just haphazardly, like it's nothing, disintegrate squads by themselves, that squad is effectively as powerful as 12 people, at least. So, that's what I've got going on right now. I'm going to do this so that we've got some experience codes sitting right here. I will be putting these into the description once I get done. Watch this, but whatever. Apparently, they don't want me to do that. So here's the tank squad versus tank squad experience code. All of these do work as intended. I will be trying to get better at all of this, of course, and flexing my skills as I gain them, because I started off being able to do absolutely nothing, and I've literally been beating my head against a wall for this. And finally, I figured out what the hell had been going wrong, at least at this point, because I'd worked my way through a bunch of different mistakes already, because this is not something that my 42-year-old ass is used to doing. But I am used to putting myself in situations that I want. Here's that in practice thing, but I don't think it'll actually end up working because the sandbox is too small. But then we got the Port of Authority 1v1. I had noticed that some people had been using them. I didn't notice right now if anybody had been using any of them. You can tell by the active. I don't think anybody liked them yet or anything like that. I'm sorry. This is the one that's not really good. That's the sandbox. This one's fine. But I don't have the vehicle spawning in it like I did figure out. I figured out the vehicle spawning for the very next map. But we've got the Cairo Main Street as well. The 1v1. And then we've got the Cairo Backstreets 1v1. So I'm going to show you what I mean by we'll do Cairo Main Street. Because everybody loves the main street of Cairo. So we're going to actually host this one, and then I'm going to host the squad versus squad. And if I could get the bots to be more of a squad together, the 1v4 would be okay with us bot backfill, which it does have bot backfill, but you can't guarantee that they're going to stay together. If I could make them, that'd be fine. But I can't. So this is the limit of this map. There's not a lot to it. It's not even the whole back area here, but it is some of it because a lot of this playable space. I didn't want to limit it to literally a rectangle there. Excuse me. So you can't go all the way out here. You can hit the border right here. I do want to check something real quick because there is a thing here that I have been launched coming out of that frickin' window over to the other side over there. I do have a video of it launching me up into there, but I ended up I jumped through it and did it, and then I ran back around and it did it again. It wasn't throwing me up. I was in it, like it was throwing me useful direction or distance over there. But I like how I've got this, like, don't get me wrong, I didn't like play this on, ooh, I'm gonna be so good about this, but you can get around things. Like, I'm gonna actually get off in here, and you can get around this. Barely. I may not. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay, so maybe going the other way is a little bit easier. But you get the idea. There is a lot of little playroom there for, you know, when you're really trying to far over here. I really limited this quite a bit. Yeah, it looks like it probably is, but you gotta come up through here. Yeah, so you can get to right here, but you really can't do much else. I've even got the little back area over here, that little building that doesn't matter, you know, some rats, it doesn't matter what side of the map they spawn on, they are always going to be taking certain spots. And some guys really like that one because, you know, nobody wants to check that way. But it's locked off. So I'm going to be experimenting with what maps, like with what parts of the maps I'm going to be using, how big I actually have this, because this is still pretty big for a 1v1. But considering that the spawn locations are static, I think that it's almost necessary. But okay, so that's my Cairo. Up streets is the rest of that. It's like pretty much none of this main street, and it's everything that's available that's over on that part of the map that's also not available in all of this. And then, of course, the back streets is, of course, that other side. So now we're going to go into that tank squad. Mind you, I've got TDM logic If y'all want it to be a higher amount of kills, just let me know. I'm pretty sure I've got one of these in here that's actually set at 100. I think it's the ground attack practice is set at 100. But now we're going to host the squad tank. I could make that a bot backfill. I don't know how they're going to act, because if they're not going to do anything with the tank, then it's really pointless. I know I can make them get in it and fire and drive it if you're not. I mean, I can't get it to do that, but I know that I've seen them do it. So, all right, we've got 2 tanks over here. We got 2 tanks over here. You see, it's a very limited area because this the kind of stuff that you try to learn from this is not. You don't need a lot of ground because you want to know how to use cover and move from cover and attack, withdraw, C. So I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna do 2 things. I'm going to first. Well, I guess I should have shot it right there. Oh, yeah, that's just a smart thing. I'm not actually trying to do much. Now you're gonna see, it's gonna spawn really, really fast. But typically, you're not gonna be there for it to happen. Oh, see, the other thing's already there. Now, I'm going to. I guess that's not going to help. Probably not. Oh, that actually did really good. That actually did really good. The tank's gonna spawn. Oh, already did. Yeah. So, I got the spawning mechanisms to work, which is cool. I just fell on top of the busted up one. Cool. So that's this one. You know, the other tanks over there. It's really not that big. It's really not that big. Of course, most of this stuff is destroyable, so that's going to make this tank battles to be really interesting. Pretty much can drive through this stuff. Yeah! It's so satisfying to just drive through shit. And that's like literally all that will come down, because that will not come down. Alright, so that's all of this. I'd like to get myself a dogfight thing going on that you spawn in the air. But I haven't been able to figure that part of the logic out yet. But let me know what y'all think. If y'all want any specific areas done up, if you have any ideas for things that I could do. I'd like to do a bunch of maps. You know, split up with a 1v1, a tank squad versus tank squad, one with gun emplacements, and then a 1v1 with tanks. You know, I'd like to do that for, I mean, a bunch of maps for each map. And then get some, like, it's really easy to turn those into 1v4s. And, of course, tank squad versus squads. It's easy to do that. And, you know, just have a real nice, big 1v1 catalog. That'd be really awesome. Because these things seem to work pretty well. And if you have any suggestions, like I said, of the areas that you'd like to be able to play in, and if you'd like me specifically to try and learn something else, I mean, I'm going to be learning everything that I can. I'd like to learn how to do this logic stuff, but if you could help me out with that, that'd be great. But don't forget, check me out, hit me, or rather, because you're already on my YouTube, send me a friend request on EA, Vanthelos NE. So, Vanthelos Nemerith, just not the Emerith, or just not the Murith. Vanthelos NE, and that'll get you there. But alright, like I said, I'm going to be putting in the experience codes in the description of this. Hopefully it ends up coming up if people are searching for experience codes. And we get this taken off, because it'd be really awesome to have a bunch of 1v1 maps that everybody likes to do. But alright, love you guys, and hopefully I'll actually be talking to people one day. I gotta use this to end the transmission. Alright guys, take care.